Open the two, Good morning.
Yeah. What a morning.
Well, I didn't hear. What did you hear?
They announced that what we talked, sort of intimated last night. Hashem Yirachem, when you are lucky you don't have school, that you don't have to talk to children today. 21 boys.
21. Unbelievable. I told you last night, someone told me I spoke to, whoa.
You can't even, when you know how you say, you wanted to have a cup of coffee, say, Yakimo Maror Haboker.
Right.
Yeah, if you can't feel this, you can't feel nothing.
So what, how did it happen?
Some kind of, they were in a building, an RPG, and
this is. See, I heard it yesterday on free, but they hinted already. Understand what they have now is because they're not certain parts of Gaza, they're not fighting. So the people are pointing out where soldiers are staying. I mean, here they tell us, stop it, move out. Unbelievable.
Strength, all these families, and more family. Look, it's the same as 1 to 1, but when you hear 21 at one time, it's too much.
Yeah.
Too much to cope with. It's too much to understand. It's.
Yeah.
Can you put the heat? I don't know how to put it either. You don't put the heat on?
God should spare us.
Morning. Take the tool. Larry, please open the tool. We never use the tool because we don't have the book, but yesterday we have, if you look a lot to find it, Reish Tzadik Aleph, the tool, remember, not Shulchan Aruch, tool, Reish Tzadik Aleph.
Chod Shabbat.
Reish Tzadik Aleph is Chod Shabbat, right? It's normally when you look, it looks at Simanim.
Oh, Simanim.
Simanim, he uses a computer, so he puts 291. Our topic we started yesterday, the Psukim and Chumash, Ichlu Hayom, Ki Hayom Lo Timtzu Basareh, Hayom Shabbat. 3 times Moshe Rabbeinu is using the word Hayom, he's teaching us the halachot of Sudat Shir. Before we look into the tool is the son of the Rosh. Before the Bet Yosef wrote the Shulchan Aruch, he wrote commentary on the tool. The tool basically organizes the topics. Shulchan Aruch, 200 years later, modeled everything on the tool. So let's see how the tool brings it, then the Bet Yosef, then the Shulchan Aruch. Let's see the tool.
Oh, I think just wait a little bit. So the Shulchan Aruch took the majority generally of the.
He's going after the tool.
But the tool is after the Rosh. Isn't it exactly like the Rosh though? Like his father, or
but the tool himself brings very often against his father.
He does.
Yeah,
and so you see, Maran generally goes like the tool in most things.
Very often. Yeah. Of course.
But I thought he was mostly like Rambam and okay.
3 opinions.
I know there's 3 opinions.
This is what the
Rambam. This is what and the Rosh. Yeah. Okay.
So how could somebody go against his father? Yeah.
Because the Torah says to go against the father if the majority goes against the father.
But your father went against the majority.
No, but this is the point. The point is nothing I'm going against my father in particular. If your father, Alav Shalom, will tell you something, you have to listen. And it's halacha. See, in halacha, you have a rule. If you have majority wins, this is the halacha.
His father was looking to the majority also. He decided that
his father is one of the 3 majority. I mean, you can be sure. Joseph very often he does say my father used to do so and so. His job is to tell me and you what to do, not what his father did.
Okay.
Look at the two. The Yehez Zahir Mood No, you don't understand what he doesn't understand what it means his father said. No, all your questions shows him. When your father tells you I want a coffee, so this is for you tefillin. When your father tells you I think that this is the halacha in Shabbat, it's not tefillin. The Torah is very wide from Moshe Rabbeinu till another 100 years, and we have a rule in Torah. In the Gemara, you have very often the kid says, "My father says so and so."
So Rabbi Yitzchak said sometimes when it went different than his father.
Of course, he has to go against his father because it's not his father saying to him. See, Kibud Av V'Em means your father tells you what to do, you have to do. Here he's telling the Jewish community what to do. It's a good example. Look here. יהא זהיר מאוד לקיים סעודה שלישית. So first he's telling us, you'll see in a minute that the Shulchan Aruch copies it word by word. ויהא זהיר מאוד לקיים סעודה שלישית, אמר רבי שמעון בן פזי, אמר רבי יהושע בן לוי. This is he copies the Gemara. משום בר כפרה, כל המקיים שלוש סעודות, ניצול מגימל פורענויות. Whoever is מקפיד very much to eat שלוש סעודות, חבלו של משיח. חבלו של משיח is, I mean, in the big picture is World War I, World War II, what goes on in Israel now, what will go on in Israel in 10 years from now. This is Chavlo Shel Mashiach means like a woman before she goes into labor in the beginning, she has pain in the beginning. Every 18 minutes, 25 minutes, then ניצול מגילה של גיהנם מנסרת נוראים, מלחמת גוג ומגוג. ואמר רבי יוסי,
Rabbi, what's the difference between Chavlo Shel Mashiach and Melamed Gog Magog?
I'm not sure. I mean, I know what it means, but I don't know if it's a timeline. You're right.
Shalom. Shalom Alechem.
Good morning.
I just want to say hello.
How are you?
Is that okay?
Of course.
Can I shake your hand?
Have a wonderful day.
Amen. And you too.
Enjoy your
Have a
holiday.
great day.
You too.
Come and join us. Bezat Hashem. What's the Rabbi's name? Last name?
Rabbi Prad.
Rabbi Prague? Okay.
What's
Bezat
your
Hashem, I want to come when you see me often. You see my face more often.
What's your name?
Gabriel Efraim.
Come and sit down.
Enjoy.
Sit
No,
down.
Bezat Hashem, I come. I gotta go.
You know, Rabbi?
If you're a psychologist, of course, he never saw me, I never saw him. But I felt this morning of shaking
He
the
came in
rabbi's
this
hand.
morning to the shul in the middle. He didn't have the Stephanie.
But this is the point. You see the boy at the beginning. So he feels good. He
Okay.
goes, he says hello. It's the only way to say it. But he
That's
said,
why I
come.
invited him.
Well, it was very smart.
Yeah.
It's the only way he wanted to come.
He couldn't find Tiffany, and then he found Tiffany.
Oh.
He borrowed
How we got
Tiffany.
back?
And
How
then-
we got that
I thought he
security?
was a former student of yours.
How do you get security?
I don't know. And then he was talking to Rabbi Yaakov, and he hugged him and he kissed him.
Okay,
So
I
it
don't know.
sounded like maybe
Obviously
somebody coming back.
something's going on in his life.
Yeah.
ואמר רבי יהושע, אמר רבי יוסי, יהיה חלקי מקיימי שלוש סעודות בשבת. Okay, up to here, it's like having the clap for the Ketoret and the Rabbeinu Tam. Or what?
Let's go ahead and get through security.
So what does it have to do with Seudah Shlishit?
We don't know what Shabbat is, Joseph. We don't know what Seudat Shabbat is. Shabbat Bayaz is a day that we don't go to work, and it's a family day. But Shabbat on a different level is what keeps the world going. The energy that gives the world to go is Shabbat. This is why the Rambam says, if you keep Shabbat, and if you kept all the mitzvot, what does it mean if I go to pray? It is, we are normal Jews as always. Take Shabbat on a different level. Torah continues. The tour continues. ואף אם הוא שבע הרבה, יכול לקיים אותה if you eat a small amount of ביצה. ומי הוא? אם אי אפשר לו כלל לאכול, the person is really full, because if it's his fault, of course, always, remember, אי אפשר לו כלל לאכול means it's your fault only, no one's fault, your fault. Why? Because you ate late and you cannot eat, so that's the shit.
We overate.
What?
We
Well, I don't know, or you overate, or you ate.
Rabbi, what does it mean, a small amount of mitzvah? I
No,
don't
but
understand.
he was
Yeah,
asking,
it's a funny word.
Joseph was asking this question.
Oh.
Maya Seudat Shabbat is a way to go to a restaurant that my wife prepared. If you eat the Kvod Shabbat, it's only Givlash again. So he says, if you're full, וכן כתב הרמב"ם ז"ל, this is the language of the רמב"ם, ואם הוא חולה מרוב אכילה, יהיה too much, או שהוא מתענה, פטור מגימל סעודות. Here's the key for us, החכם עיניו בראשו, שלא ימלא בטנו, don't fill up, don't overeat in the morning, כדי ליתן מקום לסעודה שלישית. See, Joseph, this is one of the reasons why he's giving us so many promises, because it happens in the winter in many communities.
Short
day, and people, come to shul a little later. If you have a Sabbath, if you have okay, the topic is everyone wants to know is here. Uzmana, when is the earliest time to eat סעודה שלישית? שיגיע זמן המנחה, דהיינו מבב שעות ומחצה ולמעלה. So by us, it's approximately now 20 to 1. Yes? The minute you can pray mincha gedolah, this is the low coding. You cannot eat before. The only time we eat before is when Erev Pesach falls on Shabbat, and you want to eat Seudah Shlishit, and you cannot eat Seudah Shlishit. Why? Because you have to eat bread. In the afternoon, you cannot eat bread. You cannot eat matzah. Bread, you cannot eat either. So what we do is we pray early Shachrit, come home early, you eat, take a break, you take a walk, and then you eat it out. This is the only time we follow the Rishonim that say that you can eat before midday is Erev Shabbat, it's Shabbat, Erev Pesach.
So we're relying on a minority opinion on that. There is an opinion that you could do it, but we're relying on that.
Many
Only
don't.
that day.
Only that day, I understand, but the only reason is because there's an opinion that it took the top.
Right. Many people are not doing it.
Yeah, okay.
ולא קודם, נלקח. This is what he says now. אותם שמפסיקים בסעודת שחרית נחלקה לשניים, those who divide like brunch, שבת, שתו, ועדיין לא הגיע זמן המנחה.
What do you mean two?
Let's say your wife sells 6 courses. Three, you say ברכת המזון, ועדיין לא הגיע זמן המנחה, אינם מקיימים מצוות גימל סעודות. אבל הגיע זמן המנחה, יכולים לעשותה מיד, אחר סעודת שחרית.
No reference to praying.
Which means what? No, he's talking.
No,
There's no reference. You're not worried that you have to pray Mincha first or anything.
Everything is clear. I mean, it's not that someone invented it.
No, I know.
He says that if you finished your breakfast. I mean, breakfast means lunch. After Zman Mincha, stop, but you can eat your lunch. There's no problem. Yes? He said openly, yes. וכן, היה עושה, Joseph wondered, היה עושה אבי אדוניה, my father used to do it. His father lived in Europe, yes. Europe, the winter, the days are very short. היה מברך ברכת המזון, והיה נוטל ידיו, ומברך עליהם, ומברך המוציא. It is. My father, in the winter, when the days are short, his father used to teach after Shachrit. I'm making it up now. He started lunch around 11:30, finished 12:45, wash, 8. He says, והיה אומר, now he's talking about his father, שיותר טוב לעשות כן. Why? כיוון שנמשכה סעודת הבוקר עד אחר המנחה, ואם לא היה עושה מיד השלישית, לא היה יכול לאכול אחר, אלא אכילה גסה. He's saying something very nice. He says, you have to break the meal for 2. Because if you fill yourself everything your wife prepared, yes, then you wouldn't be able to eat that fish. I mean, I'm using my house as an example, okay? If I would do what he did, wash, hamotzi, I eat some fish and salad, yes? Then by Ashkenazim you eat chamin, yes? Yes, you would eat after this.
It has to be separate, different food.
Correct. But he's saying, if I would eat all the food in one meal,
Yeah.
then when I come to Seudah Shlishit,
Nothing left.
I thought it's different. It's like you're eating an apple, you make
For example,
And then you do
no,
So you do it again.
no, he's saying different food. This is what he's saying. Saying everyone prepares a lot of food for the meal. Says half of the food. Continue.
Wait a minute. Why don't you do it opposite, Rabbi Prague? Why don't you make? It doesn't matter which. It doesn't matter which Suda's which. Why don't you make a quick Suda when you come home from shul?
This is what Eli suggested
That was
yesterday.
better.
I didn't hear. I'm sorry.
We are going to see soon.
Yeah, but that's not.
Listen carefully. Listen carefully. If you have, I'm using an example, the Marshal, 500 years ago is using, but if you have one good bottle of wine, should you drink it Friday night or Shabbat morning? The answer is Shabbat morning. If I have only 2 pieces of salmon, in Ashkenazim, you have gefilte fish. Salmon is more important. When would you eat it? During the day. Seudat HaBoker, we'll see later. Seudat HaBoker is considered the important one. But Eli, your point is a good point anyway. You're saying, but the avad, if I know that I cannot eat really Seudat a sheet of bread, what should I do? Come, eat a piece of pita.
You're saying in the morning.
Eat something.
When you say you come home from school 11:30, let's say I do. Would we ever come home 11:30? My wife's not even home yet, whatever it is. So if I
wash,
do,
eat pizza, take fish, whatever, something to show it's a special meal.
oh, you can't just have the bread, just not eat you can. You want to show something, okay, that it's important.
It's right, to show that the Seudah is Seudah Hashuvah.
Even though now the main Seudah that your wife prepared is
I
going to be
know
Seudah Shishit.
someone.
But now, if you're gonna have that fish, is the
No, that's
problem.
second.
No, so then the second.
No, but I'm saying the real meal though, in your essence, your wife prepares the meal, you're having people over, whatever it might be.
sure.
That's going to be your Seudah Shishit.
Exactly.
So you don't
Yeah,
make-
but Sudashli sheet isn't delineated, which has
It's
to
the
be.
second-
We
let's
just do it.
Let's continue. So the first opinion is, he says, my father used to say, you're better off taking the food of the meal and break it to 2 meals, one
Right.
before and one after, and then you have a beautiful listen. But Rabbeinu Tam in Hid, I remember by Ashkenazim, Rabbeinu Tam is a super major. Shelo le'echol b'Shabbat, he says, Rabbeinu Tam says, you must eat Seudah Shlishit before Mincha.
Wow.
Why? משום דאיתא במדרש, כל השותה מים בשבת בין השמשות, this is a Kabbalistic concept, whatever it means.
What is that?
כל השותה מים בשבת בין השמשות, כאילו גוזר למתים, whatever it means. לא משנה, ועל כן הנהיג, הנהיג לעשות סעודה שלישית, קודם המנחה.
Unless you pray
But, here is an example, Joseph. The Rambam, here you have 2 major superpowers. The Rambam is Rabbeinu Tam, yes? הולך לבית המדרש, וקורא, you learn, עד מנחה, ומתפלל מנחה, ואחר כך קורא הסעודה.
So that's why some people pray Mincha Gedolah for that reason.
Yeah, but
How come on Shabbat many people go to pray? This is exactly the point. Because they want
They
to
want to
eat it.
sleep
They want
until I reach.
No, they satisfy with your opinion.
That's definitely the
But
reason.
they also satisfy with your
They
opinion.
satisfy their opinion and you pray. No, look further.
yeah, but there's an opinion that Mincha Ketaf that
No,
Mincha
it's
Ketaf
like-
is better than Mincha Ketaf.
Yes, you have a problem.
Why?
Because we're eating late. It's like,
Look,
yes.
look a second. After presenting, his father used to eat Seudah Shlishit before Mincha. Because he used to break the meal. Then Rabbeinu Tam says you must do it before. Then the Rambam says you have to do it after. So what do you do now? Now he's telling me and you. See, Joseph, this is why. He's a posek to Am Israel. He's not telling you what he did. He says, V'chen,
His father
Yeah,
was
it's
a
not
Muslim
about
from Israel.
yes.
What don't you
Yes, you
This
understand.
is a big
He
problem.
still
Yeah,
can't get it.
You understand that Sephardic people in Africa and Middle East did not follow his father always, yes? I mean, the Rosh knew that he lives in and he knew that in the Middle East there are others. The Rosh knew there is a Rambam and many people in Spain. Remember, this is 800 years ago.
He can't get beyond the point that you can't say.
No.
Well, let me ask you a question. If you're your father told you to do Avera, you're going to do it.
It's not an Avera. Chas v'shalom is that,
It's not the
this is
same
not
example.
Avei Rav Kosna, it's not an Avera.
Because he had all the books also.
Ba'im,
He decided like
Ba'im.
that.
But there's a
No.
halakha, yeah.
He's not telling, the two never told me what he did. I assume, if you ask me, that in his house, he did it with his family. His job is to tell Jews from North Africa to New Zealand, from all the corners of the world, is a Pesach Israel. Cannot even because my father says, really, it's very nice. The father did it, do
Rabbi, according to the truth, is the minimum.
it. Let's continue.
Shul
We
of
didn't
Pesach,
continue.
language
We didn't finish.
Go back.
He says, you see, והרמב"ם כתב, הולך לבית המדרש, וקורא עד המנחה, הוא מתפלל מנחה, ואחר כך, ונראה, the two says, יחכי עדיף תפל. Says, I prefer people follow the Rambam. Okay, but now he's giving us another reason not to read the Dashi sheet before מנחה. Why? מכיוון שהגיע זמן המנחה, אליי, אסור לי לאכול עד שיתפלל.
What's Zman HaMincha?
Oh,
Because there we have a problem in Chag Tana, Mincha Gdola. There's a whole debate there.
He's talking now in Chakatala. And remember, this has to do, Europe is bias. I mean, you remember a few weeks ago, we did candles 4:11.
Yeah, yes, yeah.
If you finish your meal at 2:30, so you're almost in this man mincha.
Right, okay. I want to make sure he's not referring to
No,
12:30.
everyone agrees.
Mincha Gdola next, Mincha Gdola. Mincha Gdola, he's not referring
I
to.
give Yafa Yomi every Shabbat at 3. So for 4 weeks or 6 weeks,
We're going right off.
I finish at 4. We're praying mincha at 4 or 5. When they finish, the sun is setting. I never eat to get the shit after the sun is setting. So every time before I go to give the class, I eat to get the shit in the house. I go to give the class. I do it for the entire winter.
Yeah.
I do it in the summer. I'm not
I
doing
think Chacham Baruch used to do that because I never
There's-
saw him.
it. There's no.
We never had. Ike would know. Ike's,
Look,
didn't have bread at.
look further. This could be also. I do it by
But you
myself.
believe it in shul.
Every Shabbat anyway. As a matter of fact, I tell my wife, I eat very little of the show in the morning. She's by as the mains, Shabbat.
Sure.
And for the next sheet, I take a little more. This is it. I wash, I eat a piece of fish or some show and finish. But believe me, that I take 1.5 matzah or 1.5 slice of bread. I have no choice.
Growing up, there was no such thing as bread. So that's Shina Shul.
Okay.
It's a maze.
Right, they had it.
We just had cake and cake.
Right.
Yeah, look at second. Yeah, Joseph. וכתב הרמב"ם, look further. כתב הרמב"ם, שגם בסעודה השלישית קובע על היין. The language of the Rambam is קובע על היין. The question is, what does it mean? הוא בוצע על שתי כיכרות. Remember, you have to have לחם בשני הסעודה השלישית also. Now again, Joseph, אבי אדוני הרוסה, my father, here, לא היה מברך על היין קודם. Here it says, my father didn't do it like the way it sounds from the Rambam. משום דאיתקש יום ללילה לעניין קידוש. The day is the same as at night. מה הלילה at night, סגי זנב בחד זמנה, עושה קידוש once, אבא יום. אבל היה בוצע על שתי כיכרות. See, this is a classic example. It says, my father understood that you don't have to make קידוש. My Hasidim, they drink wine during the meal, but they're not making kiddush. See, I'll show you the Rambam in a minute to understand why some people understood that according to the Rambam, you have to make like kiddush. He says, my father didn't do it, and even the Shulchan Aruch doesn't do it.
Kiddush for the lunch or for they make kiddush?
No, so I'm saying, the language of the Rambam. You look a second, open the Rambam. You like take the, you take one. I'm sharing it here, Joseph, take one, you want to open the Rambam in Perek Lamed, Sefer Zmanim, leave the two open. Open the, you cannot, Larry, open the Rambam Zmanim.
The Chod Shabbat.
Chod Shabbat.
Perek Lamed.
Yeah. Look at second הלכה ט', פרק למד הלכה ט', למד ט' שבת זמנים. חייב אדם לאכול שלוש סעודות בשבת. As you know, the Rambam is always, you have it? פרק ל' הלכה ט'. חייב אדם לאכול שלוש סעודות בשבת, אחת ערבית, אחת שחרית, ואחת במנחה.
Yeah, he's saying shachrit because already now sometimes we don't do that, right?
Of course.
Shacharit could be any time.
He's right.
No.
Could be 11.
No, he's right.
No,
You
no, but you
you might eat after
Shachrit
Zman
is
Shachrit.
I'm saying, could be
Shachrit
totally
means not Zman Mincha.
Yeah.
Most people.
Here, look at the Magid Mishneh. Look at the Magid Mishneh, like.
Yeah.
Magid Mishneh, you see the commentary on the left.
I can't see that.
Oh, okay, Chayav Adam, he brings the Gemara, go to the fifth line. נראה לי שדעתו זר שמצווה לעשותה באילו הזמנים. You must have second meal in the morning, ודבר זה מחלוקת בין הגאונים. שבעל הלכות גדולות, which was before the רמב"ם כתב, אפילו מפסיק בשחרית באמצע סעודתו, ומברך ברכת המזון, ואחר כך מברך המוציא, שפיר גם. אוקיי? See, בעל הלכות גדולות is a major issue. Here, the Rambam clearly disagrees with you. So, Erev Pesach, Shabbat, we rely on this shit. But he says clearly, the Ramban, the Rashba, the Rambam disagree with בעל הלכות גדולות. So you cannot divide your morning meal to two. The second half of your meal has to be in the afternoon.
But the
Yes?
key thing is the first one should be in the morning,
Yeah,
which is really
everyone-
what we don't.
everyone-
I shouldn't say we. Lots of times I don't.
Yeah.
So why don't you give an example of what you do on Shabbat? Right, you come home from shul. Okay, go ahead. You make sure to be home.
Exactly what he's saying.
In the
Basically,
morning.
he's saying that.
Before mincha.
Look further, Eli, look further.
Or
וצריך,
not before mincha.
Eli,
What do you mean
Eli,
before mincha? I meant
Eli,
before mincha.
Eli,
Before. everyone knows that you should try but you do it. No,
וצריך להיזהר בשלוש סעודות אלו שלא יפחות מהם כלל. ואפילו אני המתפרנס מן הצדקה שואל שלוש סעודות. במילא the poor man, you have to, okay, then he says what we said before. אם היה חולה מרוב אכילה או שהיה מתענה תמיד פטור. Now here's the line, there is a
Here
big
we go.
מחלוקת.
This I gotta see.
וצריך לקבוע כל סעודה משלושתם על היין. מה פירוש לקבוע? He didn't say make קידוש, לקבוע. So if you look at the כסף משנה, which is the בית יוסף, look at the בית יוסף, בית יוסף, וצריך לקבוע, הטור, here we just saw the tour inside, נראה שמפרש, דהיינו לומר שיקדש גם בסעודה שלישית על היין, כמו בסעודה בשאר הסעודות. ואין זה, says the בית יוסף במשמע דבריו, אלא היינו לומר שישתה יין בסעודה. כי זה הפירוש קובע סעודתו. So again, the Tur understood that the Rambam meant that before you start the meal, you say Borei Pri Hagef. Says the Tur, as we saw, my father didn't learn like this, the Bet Yosef agrees. So he says, according to the Rambam, try to drink wine בסעודה שלישית.
wow.
Rabbi said that.
But what are we Kadishim? If you make
How do you say it?
Shemot Be'agefen, we're not making any Kadishim.
No, he says the Rambam seems to say. The language is Joseph, צריך לקבוע. לקבוע means part of your meal
Is
should
that a birchat hanen? Is that a
Yes.
birchat hanenin?
be agreed it's ברכת הנהנים, yes.
But it's not Mekadesh like Friday night.
Correct, no, correct.
So what is it?
Shabbat,
In the
Shabbat
morning,
morning, Joseph, even Shabbat morning, when you say it's more, no, Joseph, even Shabbat morning, when you say it's more David,
Yeah.
most people in my house, Shabbat morning, I say, I say two psukim from Chumash.
Yeah, but
Okay, Hasidim and Sfaradim do the same. You say, you can say half of thing before Kiddush, but it doesn't do Kiddush.
it's not Mekadesh. I mean, what are Mekadeshim? Because we're doing a Beracha.
Okay, so this is a separate issue. We call it Kiddush, only because Friday night we call it Kiddush, but the real Kiddush is Friday night. Chachamim told me and you, don't eat Shabbat morning, unless you say Borei Pri Hagef before, and the Borei Pri Hagef is a green light for me and you to eat the meal. You
Yeah, but the
understand?
question is, it could be two other books, but according to what he's saying. You have no
Well,
Shacharit,
in the-
Mincha, and
Rambam
Sudan
says you have to have the Sudan.
That's three of them you're gonna say.
Correct. No,
Right.
but this the machloket is it
I
like
mean,
the
two-
morning that I cannot eat the meal before I
No,
make it?
no.
Or to show that this is a special meal. Look a
No,
little
because
further.
even in the morning, if you had just had,
Rabbi.
if you just had bread, I mean, if you just had cake or something, you
Rambam,
can eat
the
afterwards.
trick, Joseph, the trick in learning is to elevate, to improve what we do. I understand. When I go, let's say, I'll give you, this is a perfect example, okay? 3 weeks ago, we celebrated on Shabbat the Bar Mitzvah of my son. This was the main meal. Listen carefully now. Shachrit is over 11:45, right? My son invites like everyone here, the entire shul to a Sabbath, okay? Now, it's not only the entire shul, many friends. So until 12, 15 people came non-stop. What do you do now? We have 90 people, we have to eat Shabbat meal. So my son bought boxes of matzot to the Sabbath, and me and my son and many others washed and I made a matzah and 2 matzot. Because to give bread out is difficult when you put matzot are very contained, you can see it. So I washed. I made a motzi and 2 matzot. Then I took let's say another piece of kugel or whoever likes herring. I said Bekat Amazon, and the meal began exactly at 12:45. Was it the best Shabbat meal I ever ate? Definitely not. But I was fulfilling. This is your case, you see?
So what is this business of Kiddush and Shul? So let's play it out. In Shul, you finish davening, and they don't wash. People
The man let's use my son's example. My son gives classes in many places. He has to invite 100 more people. So the people in the shul approximately 100. Okay, so everyone ate. Everyone goes home. They get home before midday. But then people come from a mile away, from a mile and a half. They just want to wish you Mazal Tov, Mabrur. So you have to give them something, yes. So you have potato kugel, you have whatever. Everyone has his own. This is exactly the way we did it.
The Kiddushin shul is very problematic.
Yes,
because
it
a lot
is.
of them, they give you a little bit of wine, and if you hold that you can't eat before, you didn't fulfill Kiddush, you didn't fulfill a
No,
Sudah.
I got a different
So-
problem. I come home full.
No, but you have a shiur.
That's the problem.
No, but then you can make your.
But
lunches
I'm
with
not
some-
eating a Sudan.
Let's finish.
Rabbi,
But I don't understand that the bar mitzvah. So you ate quickly after shul. That was your second meal, right?
My second, correct.
No,
And then when you went home, did you go?
Which
So they
took
give
2.5
out a
hours.
little
We started
So
after
there's
midday,
a
you
half
understand?
ounce of grapefruit
Which was
in there.
so that's the
Right?
shit, you understand?
People, that-
So that was your big meal was your Sudan Shlishi.
Exactly. This way,
That's what we said lechatchila.
flowers and
You have to have
waiters
a
and all
shiur.
this
No, it doesn't
nonsense.
matter, you have to
But-
have
but-
a shiur.
Remember, all the ladies
Whatever
have to
shiur you have
come.
to
I
have.
mean,
You have
That
to have bread.
doesn't cover you.
Yes, it does.
It depends how
No, it
much.
doesn't.
what?
I mean,
course it
Mizrahot
does.
doesn't cover me.
Depends how much.
For a Sudan, Rabbi.
Tomorrow depends how
In the
much.
morning, they say
How much?
Kiddush.
You got, if you eat enough, that's.
No,
you can make
Be'ez
Bekat
Shalosh.
Hamazon, maybe.
No, not Bekat Hamazon. You only need to do
Right.
Be'ez.
I don't think so.
We'll talk.
We
We'll
have a
talk.
rabbi here, you
It's a
and I
big
arguing.
machloket. It's a big machloket.
Rabbi,
We'll talk about it.
according to the truth, is the minimum amount of kibbutz.
Yes, we'll see in a minute.
No,
Everything
because
is
the way the
Shulchan
language
Aruch.
of the Torah, it sounds like Kazai doesn't even come to play here.
Even if I'm on a diet on Friday, every meal I have to eat a betzah, which is more 2 hours.
So it's more. So wow.
Look at the Shulchan.
I don't-
Okay, open the Shulchan Aruch, but forget the Torah. Guys, remember, the purpose we're learning it is just to try to do it a little better. Look at the Shulchan Aruch. Take Shulchan Aruch. Raise Tzadik Aleph. Open again. Basically, you see afterwards the Shulchan Aruch
There's
covers
something, it's there.
the
Give up.
75%.
As opposed to Rambam, you're saying so.
No, whatever.
So you're saying there's what difference is between
Not
Rambam?
apples, no. Normally, it follows the two, and the two follows the Rambam very often. Also, in this particular case, we saw how disagree.
Okay, all right.
I mean, you wonder,
It's the same
Joseph.
thing.
No, Joseph. Of course, it's the same language. He took it from the two. יהא זהיר מאוד לקיים סעודה שלישית, word by word. ואם הוא שווה ויכול לקיים אותה
כביצה.
Even with the
לוק
kabbatzah.
משנה ברורה, don't get excited. This is why. לאו דווקא, אלא מעט יותר מכביצה.
Okay.
וכביצה מקרה עדיין אכילת ארעי, כמו שכתוב, סוף סימן רל"ב. כביצה is approximately 2 ounces, a little more, ולא חשיב סעודה. ויש אומרים מלאים, this is very important.
This is what we need.
ויש אומרים שאפילו בכזית יוצא ידי הסעודה. ונכון להחמיר לכתחילה אם אפשר לו.
Right.
He is aware he was in Poland. In Poland, the sun is setting in before. It's shorter than us. Shorter than here in New York in the winter. So he says, even if you eat a kazayit b'seudah shlishi, as long as you eat that.
2 kazayit is 1 kabisa.
Yes.
So he says, he eats a little more. So, but pita, it's very easy. Pita, it's very
Easy to eat.
Is kibetza if you're not full doraita or
Well,
derabbanan?
it's a machloket usually.
It's a machloket. What else?
No, but the halacha, if you look at it, it looks like it's a Rabbanan. I mean, the way they're
Really?
running. Otherwise, everyone would say. Look further, look in the Shulchan Aruch now, סעיף ג' לילה. אם נמשכה סעודת הבוקר עד שיגיע זמן המנחה. Here, you see? If the meal of the morning continues into זמן מנחה.
What's man mincha?
Let's say 1 o'clock.
מחג גדולה.
Good. Okay.
יפסיק הסעודה. אם שולחן ערוך tells you, stop. יברר ברכת המזון, ויטול ידיו ויברר ברכת המוציא ויסוד. Where did he take it from? He took it from the tool, you saw? Because the tool says, my father used to do it.
But Rabbi, why doesn't that cause a better thought to share not silicha?
Well,
Eating a meal.
This is a good question.
Yeah.
Says the Mishnah Berurah, it's so important to
You're
read.
causing yourself
Good,
to say
good,
a second
good,
Birkat
good,
Mazon that you didn't
Yeah,
want
that's
to
how we
say.
try to get extra brachot on
Then
Shabbat. That's the whole,
then
everyone
good.
grabs. I mean,
Continue. ונכון הדבר, שולחן ערוך is praising this, שאם לא היה עושה כן, if you are not doing it, לאחר שנמשכה סעודת הבוקר, עד אותה שעה, לא היה יכול לאכול אחר כך אלא אכילה גסה. You understand what he's saying? He's saying, I'm telling you, I mean, I'm sure your wife is the same. In Shabbat meal, you have 6 big courses at the table. If you eat them, you're full. So he says there's no way you can eat Seudah Shlishit later.
No.
He says so eat 3 of the 6
in the morning.
in the morning. Sheh Birkat HaMazon. Now your question of
What's the difference, Rabbi? I think that the reason maybe it is because you don't want, as he says, to do the beracha the same thing. So you separate it, it looks like 2 meals, 2 separate.
Right.
Otherwise, what you can eat like a pig here.
okay,
and you get full.
but this is what he says. Look at the Mishnah Berurah. Yudaled,
Control.
Vivarech Birkat. David, it's very easy to speak about control. When you have daily shas in the morning,
I
you
know.
do this. This is in theory.
He didn't say
But
he-
you don't eat before you go to school. I'm sure not.
Definitely not. One of the reasons you hear what Larry said. I don't eat. Why do you think some of the Hasidim, many of them, before they go to shul in the morning, eat coffee and cake?
Oh, wow.
Because Hasidim always start very late, and they know when they come home, you're starving.
Right.
So in order not to
So here's
fret,
a question. In Sackett Lake during the summer, after davening, they make a banquet kiddush, right? Do you eat at that kiddush and you wash?
Pag eats 1 ounce of cake to be yotzeh the kiddush makom seudah, because otherwise I cannot eat the meal. So this is the point.
Wait, which
So you make kiddush there for the wait a second.
Yeah, what do you
They
do?
give you a lavish every Shabbat.
breakfast?
After the meal,
After
not breakfast, after Musaf.
Inflation?
Oh, after Musaf, yes.
6 pieces of flesh.
Wow.
So some people, Larry, some people eat very late lunch. This is the problem they have. Right?
No, so their late lunch will be, so that's
Now,
what
the
she.
kiddush.
Right, but
Yeah.
only they wash in the morning. They give you cake and different types of meat.
So wait, you don't wash then? You just eat a piece of cake?
What I do is I'm the rabbi. I'm making the kiddush. I take 1 ounce of bread. I take some watermelon always in food. Goodbye. Other people, as you know, knock in
The rabbi
whatever they
over
can.
here, that like
most of the people, maybe they're doing wrong, it's the cake is what they say.
Yeah, well,
Sudash
they're-
We'll talk to
That's-
more. The
that's-
question
that's-
is, can you, now
They
there
don't
is a new
consider that a
question.
meal.
That's your.
If you eat three
They
pieces
don't
of
have
cake,
to say al-Mashiach cake.
That's not a meal.
But that's why we're.
It's
yeah,
not
tomorrow,
considered a meal.
tomorrow I'll show you a discussion. Can you be Yotzei Seudah
I wish.
in our language in Pata because this is the name of the
Right,
discussion.
but it also says Perot, that's why we all
Bread.
saw it in Rabbi.
I wish.
Yaakov said.
Also,
I
when
hear
you
you
are
up there.
how about if you Kiddush every Shabbat? Take 3 pieces of cake, 3. This way, it looks like a meal. Tomorrow we'll see.
So, I have
Great
my,
idea, so that's she can, yes.
Well, I have my own
I think the best solution would be to rely on this Shittor. Pata Ba'abikis mean count as a meal. This way, make sure that when you make Kiddush, you take.
no, I think it's easy for me, if we let's add one to fill this is better, I come home at 11:30. Wash and say, debate and then I'm not gonna be full for next lunch.
I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you tonight.
The same Sefari say.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're certainly not finished.
No, but.
So by saying that in what Catholic